Hey everyone, I'm Matthias of Regenerations Creations, and this is another video on my personal beliefs. This video is on 3 of my favorite Stoic sayings that I want to help guide my life. They are in Latin, of course, because I'm a huge dork, but I will hopefully explain them all fairly well. So the first quote is Momento Mori, or remember that you are mortal. I recall there being some debate to the historicity of the story I'm about to tell, but I think it's amazing even if it's not true. When a Roman general or emperor would win a great victory, they would have a grand parade through the city of Rome. It was called a triumph. The victorious leader would march his army through Rome, the capital of the world as far as they were concerned, and be showered in praise, gifts, and glory. As he rode through the city on a chariot, being celebrated by all, there was a slave posted beside him who would whisper in his ear, Momento Mori, remember, you are mortal. Whew, powerful stuff, right? At the highest point in your life, they thought it was important to have a reminder of humility. Now I won't have anything as great as a Roman triumph, but I still think it's imperative to always remember that you're going to die someday. It's a reminder to not take ourselves too seriously, to not be overly attached to our struggles or our accomplishments. It also makes me think of the story of Ozymandias from a poem. A colossal statue of the emperor had an inscription upon it that read, "Look upon my works, ye mighty, and tremble." At the time of his reign, he would have been spectacular. A king among kings, ruler of the greatest empire humanity had yet known, his architecture more grand than any other, his army indestructible, his hubris unbounded. He boldly proclaimed that all the mighty of the world were as worms at his mighty feet. But in our time, all we see is the ruins of a once great statue, surrounded by sand and dust. Now the mightiest human's proclamation of greatness is nothing but a memento mori, showing all the mighty of our time. Look at what time leaves. It leaves us all in obscurity, unravels all of our great deeds into nothing but dust and the distant shadow of a memory. So remember, life is short, and that's why it's precious. Like a flower in spring, it is preceded by the void, and death awaits. But during its short time here, it deserves respect and attention because it adds to the beauty of our shared existence. The second Stoic saying that I like is Amor Fati, love fate. I once heard it said that it's possible to have a perfect life. All you have to do is want the things that life provides you. So many of us love to complain about how bad we have it. We say, oh, my life would be so much better if this was different, or if that happened, or if this didn't happen to me, or why do I have to put up with this? Why do I have to do that? But we must remember, most things are simply out of our control. We can only control ourselves. And even then, we only control how we respond to things and how we choose to interpret events. But even then, most of us have little enough control over that as well. So if most of our life is out of our control, do we just give up? No. We must learn to love it all. Greet each event in life as if it was an old friend. Of course, this is very hard to do, but I think it leads to a lot more happiness overall. One way I heard this framed is that before I was born, my soul got to choose what life it would live next. My soul chose this life so that it could have these experiences and these opportunities to grow. In this way, we can learn to love our fate by telling ourselves that we chose it. I'm not saying that this is true, but I think it's a much more productive way of looking at the hardships in our life than just complaining or resenting them. My third and last Stoic saying for this video is Acta non Verba, actions, not words. As George R. R. Martin often says in his epic Song of Ice and Fire series, words are wind. We all say we want to do certain things, or promise to do this or that, but nothing means a thing until we give it action. Just like I can say I believe all of these things, but if I'm not actively trying to live it, then I don't really believe it at all, do I? I remember in university, I learned about the sophists. They started off as speechwriters in ancient Athens. They believed that their words created reality, and they could change people's minds and the world just with their words. Nowadays, few people still think this, but words are our thoughts manifested in physical reality. In my previous video, I said that thoughts lead to actions, and actions create reality. Well, in the same way, a thought is given action by speaking it. So words can shape our shared reality. We have to realize just how important words are. For instance, try having a logical thought without any words. Without words, we just have feelings and emotions. Still good, but we would definitely miss it if we didn't have them. So because words are so powerful, we must be careful when we use them and how we use them. This always reminds me of a great quote that God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we could listen twice as much as we speak. And I always like to combine this with seek first to understand rather than to be understood. To me, these convey the idea that we all want to be heard and understood for our ideas to be validated. But to be a wise and a good person, we must first listen to others to gain context and understanding before jumping to conclusions and making rash decisions. I once heard it said that this is a powerful tool for negotiations and for being a good leader as well. Let all the others speak first. Hear what they have to say before you say your part. This lets others know that they are valued and listened to, and makes them more likely to listen to what you have to say afterwards. The quote I can remember that goes along with this goes something like, try not to speak until you have something important to say. And if you think your words are important, then do not waste them on someone who is not listening. Now, as a nerd, I love to rant and lecture about obscure and random topics, as I'm doing now. But I have learned that if the other person really doesn't care, I might as well just be talking to a wall. Not everyone will care about what you have to say, just like you don't really want to hear everyone else's opinions all the time. So try to use your words wisely and tailor them to your audience so that interest and understanding are your top priorities. Because what else is the point of communication? Well, after saying all that, I feel like I've been rambling for too long. So thank you for listening and have a great day.